Wow. Yeah. Helmsley. I stayed at Squires at Sherburn in Helmet last night. And this is me just about to head along the TT to get home. We'll be going nice and steady away. Now, this is how you get your leg over. Like that. Oh, yes. Go on. Nice one. Oh, yeah. Take that off there. Stick it on there. Fire up that like that. Yeah, and then oh. Then we're away. Lovely. Oh, yeah. It does. Yeah. Oh. Nice and steady along here. So, I bought a 3-second tent, and I'm pleased to say it lasted 24 hours. Yeah. It was a spur of the moment impulse. You know, things like that happen, don't they? But thought, give it a go. Anyway, it wasn't big enough, let's say. I couldn't stretch out in it. And when I did stretch out to sleep last night and I looked up, there was pinholes all over it, and the seams between the layers which made up the tent weren't stitched very well. You could see light through it. So I donated it to a camper van family who had some young kids, and they could play in the tent, couldn't they? And I thought that was a nice thing to do. Yeah, so that's how we did it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, this is me, flat out at 50. Just steady away. Yeah. But I went into Halfords yesterday and I bought a airbed which had a built-in pump, and that is fantastic. And I also bought a Halford sleeping bag, which again was fantastic. And for those two items, they were less than 30 quid. So I highly recommend those. So anyway, a friend of mine, Gary, BMW Gary, he has a nice tent. And I've got a picture of it. I know the make and the model. So Elaine said, we'll go outdoors and have a little look. But I think if I got the one that Gary's got, Gary would be good to show us how to put the tent up. Yeah, that'd be nice. So anyway, the bike is running pretty faultless on 46,954 miles. You know, and I just think, yes, I'd like a nice shiny new one, you know. The only thing is that when I get on this and I ride it, it's just a torque monster, isn't it? You know, it's lovely. Really is nice. But I like the look of the new Honda Transalp. You know, it just looks lovely, doesn't it? And Vosges, the Chinese make, and CF Motor are bringing out some absolutely beautiful looking bikes, fully loaded, for substantially less than their Japanese and German equivalents, you know. It's just a position, you see. You know, ideally, I should get rid of the Bonneville and this and get a new something, but you know, I'm emotionally attached to the Bonneville now. It's my Marrakesh Express, isn't it? And that's all I can say. I'm emotionally attached to this, you know. I didn't pay a lot for it. I wouldn't get much for it in Part X if they would take it. But at 70 years of age, what do I do? You know, I don't know. Anyway, on a different tack, I went to Morocco not so long ago, and I did Tangier, Casablanca, over the Atlas Mountains, after I'd been to Marrakesh, of course, and after the Atlas Mountains, it was towards Ouarzazate and the Sahara. Yeah, it's on the edge of the Sahara, not the big sand dune bit, but the edge. And when I came back, I go for breakfast with the retired car transporter drivers, and Gary and Lindsay Gary, he'd like to go next April. So would Marcus. Now, when I went, I rode to Portsmouth, ferry to Santander, I rode all the way down there, but I met a lovely Scottish couple in Ouarzazate who'd rented a pair of CF Moto 450s. And anyway, when I've done a little bit of research, the cost to rent a CF Moto 450 for 8 days, well, a daily rate, and if you rented it for 8 days, it really isn't that expensive, you know, and we can fly from Newcastle to Marrakesh, return for not a lot of money, sensible money again. So at the moment, there's 3 of us going. No, ideally, if we could get another one, that would be 2 people sharing a room, or, you know, it would be 3 of us sharing a room, you know, so that will cut the cost substantially again, won't it? And I've volunteered to be the tour guide, which I think would be a lot of fun, you know, and I just thoroughly enjoyed Morocco. But then again, look at this, the English countryside. You know, you don't have to race along this road to enjoy yourself, this Helmsley TT. Oh, just pootle along like this, 40 odd miles an hour. Really nice. You know, and then you're not looking out for coppers hidden behind trees with speed cameras or nothing, are you? No. Lovely. So, yeah. Used to be a red telephone. Oh, it's still there, look. Telephone box. I think it's a library now, you know. Oh, yeah. So this old girl I'm on, There's nothing like riding an old girl, getting your leg over and getting on. She's 19. No, 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 no. 20 years old next year. And this is the predicament. If it was unreliable, if it was just, it'd be easy to get rid, wouldn't it? But it isn't unreliable. It's, even though it pains me to say it, it's German engineering, isn't it? And there's nothing wrong with it. It does everything that every other motorcycle does in its own little way. It may not be as powerful and as nimble and quick to stop as the latest and greatest, but then again, I'm in the same position, aren't I? I'm not the most nimble, quickest, or quick to stop. But I've still got plenty of miles left in me, hopefully. Yeah. So going back to camping, I just, whether it was where I was last night, I just absolutely never been to Squires before at Sherburn in Helmet. And it was just lovely seeing the latest and greatest bikes coming in. People who'd spent, obviously, serious amounts of money. And good luck to them, there was the Ducati Multistradas, the Pikes Peak edition. I think that's an expensive jobby. Well, they're expensive anyway, those Ducati Multistradas, aren't they? But the Pikes Peak is another leg up in the expensive league. And then not so many sports bikes these days. There might have been half a dozen there, but a lot more were just middleweight, lightweight, beautiful looking motorcycles. Yeah. You see, I'm quite settled with this BMW. It's a lovely bike to ride, and I just get unsettled when I watch YouTube videos, or I go to a biker cafe like that, and throngs of amazing machineries thrust at you. And you go, but they're at a price now where you have to take out finance, and I really don't want to take out finance, really, I could do PCP, put a small deposit down and pay a small monthly payment, but then you're only renting it, aren't you? You don't own it. So, you don't have an asset at the end of it. You've just got an empty garage when you send it back, unless you pay the balloon payment at the end. Yeah, I think they've resurfaced it well, and they've done the white lines very good, so, at least you can see which way the road's going a little bit better if you don't know the area. Whereas me, I know the area, I just don't want to go crazy. I mean, look, isn't this lovely, You don't need to go fast on this road to have a nice ride. I'd love Elaine to get back on the bike, When I go home, I'm going to try and say, can I measure your heat, Hitty? And let's see if we can get you a crash at, well, when we go to Matlock Bath, I think there's places there that sell motorcycle attire, and we might get Elaine on the bike, on this one or the Bonneville. The Bonneville's lower, but this has the backrest of the top box, doesn't it? Yeah, It's lovely, isn't it? You know, just woo, round the corners. Yeah. Yeah. And if you know me, you would have known for a long time that I want to move to Canada, but I've had to change that to have wanted to move to Canada, because at my age that's gone now. But you know, when I look at what's on my plate, it's a feast, isn't it, really?